Hi there, I'm Pandabander. So I've seen a lot of new werewolves lately and picked up a lot from my own pack, and the biggest question I've seen from both of these are what set should werewolves be using in PvP? And that is what I'll be going over in this video. So this won't be a build video, what it will be is a nudge in the right direction. To get you acquainted with what you are looking for, I'll be listing a number of werewolf staple sets, then a few beginner-friendly set combinations, and some suggestions to set them up to maximize your enjoyment with werewolf in a PvP setting. So first on the list is Wretched Vitality. This set is one of, if not the best sustained set in the game. It's easily procced and maintained, and provides an enormous amount of recoveries. It is also craftable, making it easy to set up in any weight, trait, or equipment slot you need it in. The crafting set is located in the Deadlands, but most guild halls that have a crafting area will have the set available. Next up is Eternal Vigor. This is for the no-proc players, because this is the go-to no-proc sustain set. The set is great for keeping up resources, though it does have a line of health recovery and flips to health recovery on its 5-piece bonus when your health falls below 50%. Since health recovery was nerfed in PvP, this has made this portion of the set a less desirable effect, which led Wretched Vitality taking its place in a proc-enabled environment. It is an overland set and can be acquired from either Western Skyrim or guild traders. Next up is Stoon's Favor. So Stoon's Favor has been one of the best and easiest to acquire damage sets for werewolves since the Greymoor expansion hit. It gives you a 10-second buff, providing about 5,300 offensive penetration anytime you deal damage to an off-balance target. Since werewolves are able to off-balance with their fear ability, this makes it an easy, on-demand boost to damage with a really good uptime. This set is another craftable one, and can also be accessed in Western Skyrim. Next is Mark of the Pariah. Now this set is what I like to call the training wheels set. It gives a massive amount of armor up front. Then as your health begins to drop, that armor increases, up to a total of 7,833 extra armor at low health. Now this is in addition to what the 5-piece gives at full health, which is 2,373 armor. This works out to about an extra 12% damage reduction from resistances at low health. This set is also no-proc friendly, and is an overland set that can be acquired from either Rothgar or guild traders. Next on the list is Vampire's Cloak. Despite the name, this is an excellent set for werewolves. 2 lines of health and 2 lines of weapon and spell damage plus minor protection at all times is practically drool-worthy, but of course we don't drool, do we? This is another overland set and can be acquired from Rivenspire or guild traders. Finally on the list of staples sets, we have Titanborn Strength. The set is excellent for taking a fight and flipping it on its head. The lower your health gets, the harder you hit, and I mean hard. Under 50% health, you gain a whopping 440 weapon and spell damage and 4,960 penetration, meaning you can quickly go from being on the defensive to putting someone else in that same spot. This is a dungeon set, though, coming from the Ice Reach dungeon. From here, I'll list a few set combinations from the freshly blooded werewolf pup to the scarred and grizzled veteran. So for the fresh pup setup, I would suggest using a Wretched Vitality plus Vampire's Cloak or Mark of the Pariah setup. It's a good starter kit for playing in the proc-enabled campaign for werewolves that are still learning the class. It will make you survivable with good recoveries, which you will almost definitely need until you get a hang of how to keep your resources up as a werewolf, because our abilities are very expensive. The no-proc version of this would be to swap out Wretched Vitality for Eternal Vigor. You'll still have good recoveries with the setup, though a bit less damage. Now for the experienced wolf, I would suggest a Wretched Vitality plus Stoon's Favor setup. It will move you away from some of the tankiness provided by Pariah or Vampire's Cloak, and into a bit more damage output. The recoveries will still be good with the setup, so it's somewhat forgiving while giving a good boost to your damage. Finally, for the grizzled veteran, I would suggest Stoon's Favor plus Titanborn, because this is a spicy setup for an experienced wolf. It drops both the tank and sustain sets in favor of 2 damage sets and can put out some impressive numbers when both are procced up. I personally have hit people for 15,000 plus howls with this setup. Now, it is much less forgiving than the previous two, as you have to rely on your play to maintain your survivability and resources, but it is a lot of fun to use. For all of these setups, I personally recommend either the Oakensoul Ring or the Gaze of Sithis for Mythics, with a single piece of Magma Incarnate for recoveries, or a single piece of Balorg for additional weapon and spell damage. Beyond just sets, it's important to build your werewolf in a way that works for werewolves. Werewolf functions best with 3 things: high recoveries, high health, and high resistances. With that in mind, I typically run with a minimum of 1500 stamina and magicka recovery through either sets, CP, or glyphs, a minimum of 33,000 hit points through attributes, sets, or glyphs, and a minimum of 25,000 resistances, typically achieved through the use of a 5 heavy build scheme. I also am a big proponent of using the well-fitted trait on gear over impenetrable, because that will help to maintain your stamina reserves while completely avoiding damage through dodges and movement. I hope you enjoyed this content, and I hope it helps you on your first excursions into playing as a werewolf. This is by no means an exhaustive list of sets that work well with Werewolf, and I'd love your input in the comments below with sets that you've used in the past, or the questions that you may have regarding these sets, or others, and how they work with the playstyle. And as always, like, subscribe, and hit that alerts button.